Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. So right now the time is approximately 5:30 p.m. and the current date remains Tuesday, May 23rd, 2017. So I would like to welcome you to part 3 of 4 witchy themed cozy mystery series. And again, some of you were like, damn, I didn't get that one to him in time. Well, you gotta do it super fast. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. So first, this is the first in the Bewitching Mystery series entitled The Trouble with Magic by Madeline Alt. Now, before I read you the description about this, I want to say a little bit about Madeline Alt. I need to also acknowledge my awesome audio tech visual person, or rather audio-visual tech person, who's also my amazing computer tech person, who was able to obtain additional information about Madeline Alt for me that I was unsuccessful in finding on my own. Madeline Alt has thus far written 7 novels in this series, and there is an 8th, which is entitled In Charm's Way. Now, the last time I checked, the expected publication for In Charm's Way is sometime in 2025. Now, obviously, that's... hold on, because I see Durga, and I hear Durga, and I want to make sure that she doesn't do anything that I'm not going to like. Isn't that right, Durga? You know what? You haven't been on camera in a long time, so let me bring you on camera. Come here, come here, come here. Yes. Look at Durga. Durga has not been on camera in a long time. Isn't that right, Durga? Oh, you look so cute. I like it when you behave and you don't pee where you're not supposed to pee. Isn't that right? Now she's doing what I call happy cat, which means that her neck, the back of her neck is in the crook of my elbow. And yeah. So yes. So the thing, Madeline Alt was dealing with some personal issues, which is why completing the writing of In Charm's Way was put well on the back burner. You want to go down? You do? You don't want to stay for the people on YouTube, the people that subscribe to my channel? You don't want to stay a little while? Please? You owe me because you peed on one of my things. So you're going to stay here for a little while. Okay? You're going to stay here for a little while. All right. So, for those of you who want to check out this series, let me have my audio tech visual person do a close-up. This is the cover. You're not going to want to stay here, are you? I don't know. I'm getting mixed vibes about whether she wants to stay, but if she really wants to go, she knows what to do. Hopefully she won't scratch me up too much. So, and of course, I love the clever puns. Double, toil, and murder. So this is The Trouble with Magic by Madeline Alt, which is the first in a Bewitching Mystery series. Bringing a little culture to Stony Hill, Indiana, Enchantments is one of the area's finest antique shops, but shop clerk Maggie O'Neill and her employer Felicity Dow do more than conjure up curios for the locals. They each possess a talent for spellbinding sleuthing. Bored with her office job and subsequently fired for excessive tardiness, Maggie jumps at the opportunity to work in Enchantments. She was a little weirded out when Felicity described herself as a witch. But if her boss wants to play with broomsticks and cauldrons, where's the harm? However, Maggie's first day on the job may turn out to be her last, when police question Felicity in the murder of her estranged sister. With everyone in town proclaiming Felicity's guilt faster than the Salem witch trials, Maggie finds herself wondering if she'll also be tied to the stake. And lately, she's been receiving messages on a spiritual frequency guiding her to prove Felicity's innocence and to embrace her own quote-unquote charmed life. First in the new series, and look, I bought this when Borders was open. I still miss my beloved Borders. All these years later, I miss Borders. I want Borders back. Yes, I do. So there are 7 in the series. I love all 7. And Goddess willing, Madeline Alt will complete the 8th in the series in Charm's Way, and then have like 13 others waiting for us to. So, let me adjust my bracelet. Okay, now she doesn't want to go down. Okay. I love you, and there you go. Scamper and fly. Okay. So this one is the first in a new series called Crime and Poetry, a magical bookshop mystery. And look at this gorgeous tuxedo cat. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And by the way, this is one of 2 that I discovered for the first time. And I will tell you, and I can remember the date because it was only a week and a half ago. It was on Mother's Day. It was on Sunday, May 14th, 2017. I had just left the Sidewalk Cafe on Avenue A after having had the honor and pleasure of seeing Reverend Yolanda, the living goddess known as the Reverend Yolanda and the Yolanda Lears, honor the divine feminine. And I had the honor and pleasure of spending some time with a friend of mine visiting from Denmark. So we went to one of my favorite homes away from home, which is the Barnes & Noble bookseller store in Union Square in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And I discovered this one. So here you go. Here we go. Let me not knock anything down. Okay, so let me try. This is a take 2. So just outside Niagara Falls sits the village of Cascade Springs, New York, the home of a magical bookstore where one young woman, her feisty grandmother, or as we would say in Spanish, abuela, and a curious tuxedo cat team up to keep crime between the pages. I love these puns! So, rushing home to sit by her ailing grandmother's bedside, Violet Waverly is shocked to find Grandma Daisy the picture of perfect health. Violet doesn't need to read between the lines. Her grandma wants Violet back home and working in her magical store, Charming Books. A lot of charms going on around here. It's where the perfect book tends to fly off the shelf and pick you. Just like tarot decks and oracle card decks and crystals and other divinatory devices choose us. We don't choose them. I know some people think we choose them. No, we don't. Violet has every intention of hightailing it back to Chicago, but then a dead man is discovered clutching a volume of Emily Dickinson's poems from Grandma Daisy's shop. Now, those of you who love Emily Dickinson, you know who you are. This is a series to check out, too. The victim is Benedict Raisin. I kid you not. I'm reading this the right way. Benedict, I didn't even see that before. Wait a minute. Benedict Raisin, okay. I'm going to get over it, I promise. Maybe not in this video, but I'll get over it. Who recently put Grandma Daisy in his will, making her a prime suspect. Now, with the help of a tuxedo cat named Emerson, clearly named after Mr. Ralph Waldo, Violet will have to find a killer to keep Grandma from getting booked for good. Booked. I love it. So, I haven't started reading this yet. I promised myself that now that there's a 3rd part in this series of videos, that I will start reading some of these. Although for the record, I am currently reading a novel in the Witchcraft Mystery series, and I am waiting with bated breath for the next novel in. Oh my God, this is so funny. I call it The Chronicles of Lily Ivory, but that's not the correct name. But it's by Juliet Blackwell. We know this series, I just don't remember the name of it. This is so embarrassing. Oh my goddess. So yeah, so I am going to start catching up on a lot of these witchy themed cozy mystery series that I'm always reviewing. So now for the next one, Death at First Sight, a Bay Island psychic mystery by Lena Gregory. Oh, I didn't even tell you the names. Oh my, see, hold on. So Crime and Poetry, first in the Magickal Bookshop mystery series by Amanda Flower. Okay, now I'm getting back on track. Let me have some more café con leche. This one, by the way, is not café bustelo. This is Nescafé Clásico. I will admit, the first time I tried this, I was like, it did not taste good. But I can't, like, you know, add as much as I normally do. With this one, it has to be like, because it's a dark roast. But it's like a super dark roast and a super rich dark roast. So I can't, like, do, like, the whole, like, fill the rim of the cap thing. So with this one, it has to be una cucharadita, which is Spanish for 1 teaspoon. All right, let's try this again. Take 3. Death at First Sight, first in the Bay Island Psychic Mystery Series by Lena Gregory. And this one has a dog on the cover. Now, for the record, I do love dogs. I love dogs very much. Dogs are a different kind of animal, and they require a lot more time and effort and attention that I have available most of the time. But I do love dogs. I'm a huge mush when it comes to dogs. Now, I do know people who keep their dogs in cages when they're at work. I don't pass judgment against them. I don't. Personally, I can't do that. I mean, I'm physically capable of doing that, but it doesn't sit right with me. And I really don't want to do that to a dog or several dogs when I'm not home. But conversely, I don't want to come home and see, you know, all my tarot decks ripped up and chewed up, and all my gorgeous tarot bags, especially the one from Wild Child Creations, all ripped to shreds. You know, because I don't want to put Ona through the hassle, like repairing all of them, because that would be like crazy for her and crazy for me. Anyway, it doesn't take a crystal ball to see that something's not right on Bay Island. I love it already. Since she left her psychiatric practice in New York City to open up a psychic shop in her hometown on Bay Island, Cass Donovan has given her fair share of readings to conflicted customers, but what she sees in Ellie Callahan's future doesn't bode well. It's so ironic. A lot of people, especially from different countries, tend to think that what I do as a psychic is very similar to what a psychiatrist does. And in a lot of ways it is. I just don't charge as much as a therapist. Well, anyway. When Ellie's mother, Marge, publicly confronts Cass about the reading, the embarrassment makes her want to curl up and die. And when she later stumbles across Marge's body and becomes a suspect in her murder, Cass is suddenly the star of Bay Island's rumor mill. That's why I don't live in a small town, because everybody knows everybody, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want everybody to know that I just went to the bathroom. Cass is determined to prove her innocence and save Ellie from meeting the fate in her unfortunate vision. But even with the help of her friends Bee and Stephanie, Bee like the insect, Cass will have to channel some serious sleuthing instincts to find the real killer. I'm very excited about this, I must tell you. Okay, so now I have a confession to make, but first I'm going to check with my amazing awesome audio tech person to see how many minutes I have left. Just in time. So, I'll admit, I did not get a 4th magical themed cozy mystery, but since a lot of us, well, since a lot of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel happen to love books, and I happen to love books, this one is a bookstore themed cozy mystery. Death by Coffee. And no, I'm not going to die drinking this cafe. See, I'm so live. Death by Coffee. Death by Coffee. First in the Bookstore Cafe Mysteries by Alex Erickson. when Chrissy Hancock and her best friend Vicky decide to open up a bookstore cafe in their new town of Pine Hills. They decide to call it Death by Coffee after Chrissy's father's most famous mystery novel. Little do they know how well the name fits. On their first day of business, Brendan Lawyer huffily takes his coffee to the grave. It seems he had a severe allergy to peanuts, but how could there have been nuts in his coffee? And who stole his emergency allergy medication? Fortunately, Chrissy's love of puzzles and mysteries leads her not only to Officer Paul Dalton, but also to many of her new neighbors who aren't terribly upset that the book is closed on Brendan. The book is closed. I love it. But one of them is a killer, and Chrissy needs to read between the lines if she wants to save her new store and live to see how this story ends. I love these puns! And the killer knows every trick in the book. I love these puns! So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 4 cozy mysteries, 3 with a mystical theme and a witchy theme and a magical theme, and 1 with a bookstore bibliophile, book lovers theme. Now, since this is now the 3rd in this 4 witchy, bookstore, mystical, magical themed cozy mystery series, if you have not yet given me in a comment like, hey, why don't you talk about this cozy mystery series, it's magical, it's this and that, then you know what to do. Because if you waited this long and it's like, oh my god, he got another one, I was going to talk about that, I was going to comment about that, so don't wait too long, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, wait a minute, snap to it. No, seriously, if you have one that you've been thinking about suggesting to me, I would love to know, because I would love to acknowledge you, that you are the one that suggested it, and I discovered it, and of course that I found out about it through you. And I also need to apologize to Gothica, because Gothica, I promised Gothica that I would acknowledge her in a shout out in every video until I do that series of videos about giving a reading. And I haven't done that yet. And of course, that series has been put a little bit on the back burner. And I finally was able to talk to my friend who wants me to teach him how to give readings. And the thing of it is that he kind of like intuited it. So he knows a little bit about it, but he doesn't know exactly how it's going to happen. But he knows a little bit. He's intuited a little bit because he's a witch, and he follows his intuition and all the good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So no new subscribers in the last 2 videos, which is fine. But if you have not already subscribed, subscribe. That way, and keep in mind that by subscribing, you also receive a notification about, oh, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, uploaded a new video. Yes. So for now, YouTube, thank you for honoring who I am and what I do. I wish you many blessings, many gifts, many miracles, and if you have not had a reading with me yet, you know what to do about that too. And I'm going to take a sip of my café con leche and remind you that something beautiful is on the horizon.